Hello everybody, it's Boris Johnson here. I hope you're all well at home and that you've been getting some studying done thanks to your teachers and the thousands of fantastic lessons here at Oak National Academy. Of course, I know it hasn't been easy over the past weeks and months, being stuck at home, trying to get your schoolwork done, missing your schools, your friends, your after-schools clubs, activities, all the games and fun that go with that. But now, thanks to the incredible efforts of people like you and all those around you, we've got this virus on the run. And we're going to get all of you back to your usual lessons in September. Your teachers and parents have done a fantastic job keeping your education going throughout this crisis, but the best place for you is to get a first-class education back in school. And for anyone who needs extra help in catching up, we're giving £1 billion for teachers to decide the best way to support pupils who've missed out on lessons, including one-to-one tutoring, if that's what is required. In the meantime, I urge all of you to keep on making the most of all the brilliant lessons available on Oak over the summer, which of course have the added advantage that you can pause and play them again. Education is one of the greatest forces, if not the single greatest force, that we have to spread opportunity across the country and to allow everybody to develop their talents. And I want every one of you to have the chance to find out what you're really good at and to learn the skills you need so that with hard work and determination, you can propel yourselves to the giddy heights of your ambitions. Keep up the good work, keep studying, and I hope that one day you will be able to look back at everything you've learned thanks to Oak and know that you were part of this amazing endeavour in our national battle against COVID-19.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for joining us for this week's Assembly and for your messages of support to all of the pupils and hard-working teachers right across the country who have been supporting them over the past term. It is great to see so many of you join us today. We're incredibly proud of everything that you've achieved over the past term. As of this morning, when I took a look, about 4.7 million pupils have taken part in over 18 million lessons. That is an incredible achievement, and it's one that we at Oak are really proud of, one that I know your schools will be incredibly proud of, and one that I know your parents will be incredibly proud of too. Remember, over the summer holidays, you can keep taking part in those lessons, maybe catch up on some of those that you didn't get to this term, or maybe look to the year ahead to see if there's a challenge there that you want to take on. You can also take part in all of the things in our activity club, including Earth School, our newest activity club, which we brought to you in partnership with the United Nations so that you can learn all about the climate emergency. Our first guest today is Daley Thompson, who is a British Olympian who won gold medals in the 1980 and 1984 Olympics. I know lots of you will have missed out on Sports Day this year in your schools, and so Daley is joining us today to bring a bit of Sports Day to you whilst you're at home. Again, a big well done to all of you, and keep up some learning over the summer holidays.
Hello, my name's Daley Thompson, and I used to be the Olympic decathlon champion many years ago. And if you want to know what that is, I suggest you look it up by Googling it. Anyway, as we all know at the moment, things are not too great out there, unless of course you don't like going to school, in which case it's a blast. But because none of us are at school, we're all missing things like lessons, but we're also missing the most important part of what used to be my day at school, which was always PE class and games. So you guys are not going to have a sports day this year unless something different happens. And that something different is going to be that Oak Academy are going to have people like me encourage you to try lots of different sports and different athletic events. Me, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the standing long jump. It's not that, clearly it's not going to be the same as the one where you run all the way down, you hit the whiteboard and jump into the sand. This one is much easier and you can do it anywhere and you can do it at any time, hopefully with your parents and your friends. All you got to do is find yourself a little marker so you know where you're starting from, and then you do a standing jump and you measure back from your heels where you land to from where you started, and that gives you your distance. So basically it's very easy, and all you've got to do is find yourself a nice little marker like this little mark here, and then just jump 2-footed like that, and you just measure from where you started to where you finished. It couldn't be any easier. You probably want to have at least 3 attempts, see how far your friends go, and do one thing for yourself. Make sure that you beat all your mates. Have a good time and a great summer.
Our second guests today are pupils from Reach Academy in Feltham and Lavinya Stennett from Black Curriculum. They're going to be reflecting on and talking about the Black Lives Matter movement and anti-racism. This, as I said last time, is a difficult conversation for us all to talk about, but one that we must have with each other. Really looking forward to hearing what they've got to say and reminding everybody that Oak National Academy and your school are places where everybody, regardless of their background, is welcome.
I am Miss Reed and I'm a teacher on the Oak National Academy, and my day job, I actually teach at a school called Reach Academy, which is where we all are now. We are here today to have a discussion about the Black Lives Matter movement, which you've probably heard a lot about. Now, I'm going to hand over to the children and I'm going to introduce them, and I'm also going to introduce Lavinya. So first, the children are Riley, Adeline,
Hi.
and Aaron.
Hello.
And we also have Lavinya Stennett. Now, Lavinya Stennett is from the Black Curriculum, and she is the founder of this amazing organisation. And it is an organisation that is aiming to try and get Black history into the national curriculum, which is, of course, very important for all of us in education. Now, Lavinya and the children here are going to have a discussion, and I'm going to lead them to it.
So right now we're going to start by watching the Premier League players take the knee on BBC Sports. So when you're ready. When you first saw this video, what did you think?
When I first saw this video, I thought that it's very good because we're trying to show the world that even in sports we can take a stand for racism.
Or were you aware, rather, that Black football players have received racial abuse during their games, and how does that make you feel?
I was aware that this was happening, and it makes me really upset because we're in 2020 and things should have changed by now, and they're not changing. And I feel like players should be treated equally, and if not, it's going to ruin the sport.
It's a great point, thank you. So we'll go to the next video. When you're ready, we're going to watch the Black Lives Matter protest on Newsround.
Say is to say nothing.
How does it make you feel to see people's reactions to George Floyd's death and the deaths of other Black Americans as well?
It makes me feel sad that they've obviously died, and otherwise, if it wasn't for his death, none of this wouldn't be happening. And yeah.
So you feel that people are in a state of awareness now if we hadn't seen the video. Great, thank you. And Adeline? So do you think that we have similar problems here in the UK?
People just think that America is the only country that is racially biased or racially unfair, but it also happens in the UK.
Thank you so much. Great. So we'll move on to the next item, which is BBC News and the Colston statue. So Aaron, do you think that it was right to tear the statue down?
Well, I think it was right to tear the statue down because obviously he was a very big person in the slave trade and he would transport Black people like across the globe. But also I think it is kind of not okay because it's the property of Britain and some people might not really like it and it could cause like a lot of like violence.
Thank you, Aaron. So you've weighed both sides here. There's a positive and a negative side to it. Thank you. And I'll ask you one more question just before you go. What needs to change and what ideas do you have to change them?
I think what needs to change is that Black people should be able to get the amount of like respect and like white people, and also they should have like a more fair chance to get into jobs and college, and yeah.
Schools should also be making public statements in support of Black Lives Matter.
I think they should, because in schools there's a lot of not just white but Black children, and they may feel as if they're not in society. So I think schools should like not accept that and help it.
Great ideas from the young people. Here are my 5 tips on how to continue learning around Black Lives Matter. 1, watch programs such as News Rounds and pay attention to how people around the world are responding to the movement. 2, definitely listen to people of colour experiences and ask questions that will help you to better understand their life and their lived experiences. 3, talk to your families about what you have learned and ask them to keep learning with you. 4, also read loads of books around Black history. You can read Staying Power by Peter Fryer, Resistance and Abolition by Dan Linden, Coming to England by Floella Benjamin, and Black and British by David Olusoga. Number 5, be brave and speak up if you hear or see racism happening around you, especially if it's your family and friends. If you're not sure what to say, just ask an adult and they can help you to confront the situation. Those are my 5 tips on how to support and keep learning around Black Lives Matter.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Dale and I've been teaching Year 8 Science at Oak. At the minute, I'm busy helping lots of other science teachers create amazing lessons for you to use next year. Thank you so much to the students at Reach and Lavinya. That was a really interesting and insightful conversation. As you heard Mr. Hood say, that's our final assembly for this term, and what a term it's been. It's been amazing to see the work you've been producing at home and in the classroom, and it's been such a privilege to teach students up and down the country. So here's a selection of some of the work that you've shared with us. There won't be any new lessons over summer, but you can still share your work with us using the hashtag LearnWithOak.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of our guests who've joined us for the final assembly at Oak National Academy this week. I want to thank all of you for joining us for assembly each week and for all of the guests that we've had over the past term. Remember, you can keep learning over the summer holidays if there are topics and areas of our curriculum that you find interesting. Don't be restricted by things being in particular classes or particular year groups. Go and find something that you're interested in and learn about it. You can also take part in our activity clubs. Remember, they're in our online classroom as well, and they're for you to keep you busy. Have a wonderful summer, and we're looking forward to seeing you when the term starts.